You're tuned in to Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
It's the pregame show where I fill you in on what's going on, and we provide analysis. Welcome in, Giant Game Day edition of Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of Oilers Nation every day. I almost called it Sherwood Ford every day. Anyways, it's a mess.
It should be. It is Sherwood Ford every day. You drive the Nation truck every day.
That's a good point as well. It's been 4 days, but it feels like 4 weeks since we've had an Oilers game to talk about.
I forgot the season was on.
Feels good, though. So let's get into it with the lead. Oilers and Kings, 8 o'clock start. I see Electronic Jordan already booing the 8 p.m. start. I hate 8 o'clock starts. I hate them so much.
I know. I've been up since 5 a.m. It's going to be a grind.
Yeah, it is going to be an absolute grind. The Oilers are going to need to grind out a victory. As always, we are live on the Nation Network YouTube, as well as Oilers Nation Twitter and Oilers Nation on Facebook. But the comment section, it is over on the YouTube. So drop us your keys to victory tonight as the Oilers take to the ice in their reverse retros. I want to start with that. When you think of the OG Todd McFarlane jersey, who's the first name that comes to mind?
Like 10 names came to mind.
Okay.
For some reason, I want to say Todd Marchand. Was he even an Oiler when we had that jersey? I don't know if
you were. For me, it's always Igor Ulanov for some reason. That's the name that always jumps.
I have the Ulanov shirt that has the Todd McFarlane design. Damn it. I loved Ulanov.
Yeah, I loved Ulanov.
Way ahead of his time. We could use Ulanov right now, current state.
We could, because the Oilers' blue line, probably not good enough. That's something we're going to get into tomorrow when Frank Saravalli joins the show. He's flying back home from Toronto today. He was in the 6 for a little Hall of Fame week activity. So, yes, I know, sorry, usually we talk with Frank on Wednesday, but we'll make up for it tomorrow when Frank
What
joins
is the
show.
segment called tomorrow?
Electronic Jordan said Frank's Follies.
Yeah, I'm in.
I think that might be what we roll with tomorrow, Electronic Jordan. I like the idea of the comment section, maybe naming the Frank.
Let's have fun with it, yeah.
Let's have some fun with that. Anyways, tonight it is a game day. Oilers taking on the LA Kings, taking on a team that they are behind in the Pacific Division standings. Tonight is a big game. It's kicking off a week of big games for the Oilers with a couple of divisional opponents. This is also the first meeting between these two teams since Game 7, round 1 of the playoffs. Connor McDavid scoring late, putting that game away. And a lot has kind of changed since then from an LA Kings perspective. They went out and got Kevin Fiala. They're also healthy. Remember, they didn't have Victor Arvidsson. They didn't have Drew Doughty for that Game 7. This is a Kings team that is a legit playoff contender once again and is not a team that you can look past.
No, we've got our hands full tonight, and we have to remember that LA played in Calgary yesterday or the night before and lost. And given their record, they don't lose that much. So I expect LA to be a worthy adversary tonight.
They will be, and they are coming off a loss as well to the Calgary Flames, and one that was just weirdly high scoring. Like
they almost pulled it off. They almost came back.
They almost did come back.
Which would have been a very Calgary move to do.
They couldn't outscore their bad goaltending, which I think is interesting because that's kind of been the Kings' MO all season. You saw the graphic we had up there. They're averaging over 3 goals a game, but they have one of the worst save percentages in the entire NHL as a team. Jonathan Quick has been wildly inconsistent over his last 4 games. He allowed 4 goals on 38 shots to the Florida Panthers, .895 save percentage. Followed it up, 21 save shutout against Minnesota. Followed it up, .970 save percentage against Chicago. And you're thinking, okay, Jonathan Quick's back on the rails. .800 save percentage against Calgary Flames. And Cal Peterson has been one of the only goalies in the NHL worse statistically compared to Jack Campbell. When you look at things like goals saved above expected and all that, Cal Peterson has been absolutely junk this year for the LA Kings. So I don't even know which direction they're going to go between the pipes tonight. Because, again, do you go back to Quick after he got lit up, though?
It seems like they do, right? Like he is their starter?
I don't know. We'll see. The Oilers are going to go with Stuart Skinner. That is
should.
A good move. Skinner's been rock solid. Mike McKenna and myself today on Daily Faceoff Live were talking about this. He's without a doubt, out of the 4 goalies you could potentially see in this hockey game, Skinner is the best one of the 4. And that's an area the Oilers actually have a pretty big advantage.
And much needed because this is a fully healthy LA Kings roster that's got a little bit more firepower adding Kevin Fiala. So expect, we're probably going to get shelled because that's just what we do. We have not figured out a defensive game. We do it once in a while. We surprise ourselves, i.e. against Tampa. We can kind of shut it down-ish, even though we still give chances, and we got a lot of big saves to get us through that one. So, this is going to be a big test for Stuart Skinner, and we know it's good to know that they let a lot of goals in, because that indexes well for the Oilers, who like to score a lot of goals. So, if they average 3 against a normal team, that's probably averaging 5 against a team like the Oilers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's just math.
Cal Peterson was the first goalie off the ice today at Kings Morning Skate.
Let's go.
That could be maybe a bit of an interesting break for the Oilers, who haven't been a good home team this year. Surprising. They're below 500 on home ice.
Wasn't this kind of like last year too, a bit, maybe for the first half? Didn't we struggle being at home and we're really good on the road? I'm just going off of a feeling here.
I don't know.
Okay, anyways, don't worry about that. Yeah, we need to fix. Well, we also started we were on a long homestand too, which is always weird to start on the season. Sometimes you need to get on those road trips to kind of really build the camaraderie of the team, of the unit. So we kind of had a weird, the schedule's been weird for us, and it's going to continue to be weird for us for the rest of the season. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, we definitely need to improve our home game. I'm hoping they're excited. I'm really hoping. They were in Florida, huge win. They had 4 days off. I really hope they had their rookie party in Florida. That's a really big galvanizing moment. So I think they come back to Edmonton, a closer group, now excited to get back on the ice, excited on home ice. I think they're excited to wear those reverse retros. So I just expect an excited, invigorated team to take to the ice.
Speaking of rookies, maybe a rookie party is what Dylan Holloway needs for a bit of a spark. He would have been paying. And Steve in the chat is wondering, is this maybe the last game we see Dylan Holloway up with the Oilers for a while? If after tonight they send him down to Bakersfield, I could see maybe after the homestand, because we've heard Kyler Yamamoto, Jason Greger was on the show yesterday, Kyler Yamamoto close but not ready. Maybe ready for the road trip, though. Tyler Benson, close but not ready. Maybe ready for the road trip. So if you're getting both Benson and Yamamoto back from injury, I wouldn't be surprised if that marks the end of Dylan Holloway's stay, but I do think he'll be here for the rest of the week. Why would you give
up? Holloway has speed. I know he's still figuring out his game, but
because they're playing him 7 minutes a night on the fourth line. It just doesn't make a ton of sense. Tonight, based off the lines of practice, McDavid with Nuge and Puljujarvi, Draisaitl with Fogle and Hyman. Fogle struck once again against Florida.
Fogle is a man possessed at the moment, and I'm very happy for him. I know we've been critical of him, but it's for a good reason.
Yeah.
The stats don't lie. So it's good to see him playing better. He's actually just playing better, and just by him playing better, he's scoring goals.
Yeah.
You're seeing more confidence, you're seeing more passion in his game. So I really hope that sustains, because he's a $2.75 million player, so we need him to deliver. So small sample size, but the last week for him has been good.
Yeah, it has been good. The third line, what
do you think about Klim? He was noticeable. I'm trying, but he didn't do anything great, but he was also around he was on the ice for some action. So I don't know.
Liam, you really liked Klim Kostin the other day.
What did Bagmel call him? The real Klim Shady?
Yeah.
I thought he was good. I thought he brought some size to the lineup. He brought some good speed. He was screened.
When you say brought size, was he physical?
I thought, well, in the sense of he screened who played in goal for Florida? Knight on that one goal, and Barry got the goal.
Yeah.
He drove to the net on that one
for action.
Yeah, he had a positive impact on the team, and that's what they're missing from a lot of guys. So I thought it was a good first game for the real Klim Shady.
It was fine, but he's not a guy that I'm looking at being he can be a driver on that third line. And with Janmark there too, it's clear they're hurting from the injuries. I would have swapped Holloway and Janmark in this lineup. I would have had Holloway on the third line with McLeod. I think that's a better fit. There's more upside there offensively. And then your fourth line is more peer checking with Shore, Janmark, and Ryan.
But I also noticed Janmark that game too. It seemed he didn't score, but he seemed like he was doing the right things and he was in the play.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting experiment. So this might be the writing on the wall that Holloway is kind of on his way down. Mm-hmm. So they're just doing that. And like I said, Janmark and Kostin in Florida both played a good enough game to be worthy to stay in the lineup. I'm not offended right now to see them on that third line. I'm kind of actually interested to see what a line with some actual meat on it for McLeod can do.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think he needs skill. That's what I think you need to put.
But
with Ryan
Janmark is
McLeod.
very serviceable. That's the whole thing. Like, he is very serviceable. So I think he has enough skill. He needs, like, McLeod just needs distribution because he's going to buzz around. He needs people to go in and get pucks loose because he can also shoot. So it's a worthy experiment. It's not the best third line in the NHL, I'll tell you that much.
Far from it.
Well, for now.
There was a take the other day from Paul Bissonnette that said if the Oilers didn't have McDavid or Draisaitl, they would be a lottery team and they would lose in a best-of-7 to the Arizona Coyotes. And that pissed me off. One, yes, their depth isn't good. Two, go through every team in the NHL and take away their two best players, and they're not that good. You know?
It's the worst take ever in any sport. Take away the starting quarterback from any NFL team, they won't be good. Take away LeBron or any star from any NBA team, they won't be good.
Which platform did he make that statement on?
Spit and Chicklets.
Okay, so then what is his persona on Spit and Chicklets? He's a Flames fan and Whitney's an Oilers fan. So, of course, he's going to say something silly.
Well, it worked.
Well, you're triggered.
Yeah, it worked.
Triggered.
Where I was going to go with it was, A, to point out that you take away the best players, every team's going to be junk. But then also I look at this bottom six and I kind of go, shit, that's a lot of AHLers in that bottom six.
Yeah, no, our bottom six is still a little bit of a mess.
So are you worried about it, or are you just kind of shrugging and going, it's a product of injuries? If you had Benson and Yamamoto and Kane all healthy, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, I love how you think Kane is definitely a top six player. Benson is... He's a fringe. I really want to pull for that guy, but he is an AHL all-star.
Great camp.
But best shape of his life?
We never got to see if it was young player has finally figured out how to be an impact role.
Puljujärvi is also a training camp god.
I know.
So, and that's not even a knock on Puljujärvi, but like he's very offensive in training camp. Same with Yamamoto.
The chat's coming through in a good way. Dangerous Wade says, take away someone's legs. They aren't good runners. Smart Cowboy says, take away all those burger joints. I wouldn't be fat. I think there's just.
But then there's donair shops. Like that's a tough one.
That's fair.
There's too many options.
That's fair. Yeah, I look at this bottom six right now and I'm like, God, until they get healthy.
But Janmark's not, we shouldn't, I'm actually, like Janmark was a cap casualty. I am happy he's now up with the club because now we're going to see what he is. And I think you're going to find that he's like a very worthy bottom six NHLer. So I feel a lot more comfortable with a guy like that in our bottom six. I don't view him as an AHLer. He was just down there because of circumstance. So I'm happy with him. McLeod I'm happy with. Costin, we don't know what we have with. And our fourth line is a potpourri of mess at the moment. Although Devon Shore once in a while really surprises us.
Mike says, take away my car and I'd have a tough time getting to work. Preach. It's the same thing. That's the Oilers lineup tonight. On the blue line, if they do go 12-6, which is what we're expecting, Niemelainen going to be in for Ryan Murray down there. Opposite now for the LA.
We need Nemo because they're going to bring physicality. The LA Kings, that is.
Yeah, they are. And let's talk about the group they have because they actually are like a pretty deep team. They're leading point getters playing on their third line tonight. Up top, they're going Kopitar, Adrian Kempe, and Gabe Vilardi. Phil Deneau with Trevor Moore and Victor Arvidsson, who we did not see play in the playoffs. Rasmus Kapari with Carl Grundstrom and Kevin Fiala, 5 points, 17 shots in his last 5 games. Blake Lizotte with Jarrett Anderson-Dolan and Artur Kaliev, 5 points in his last 5 games, playing on the fourth line for the LA Kings. The D pairings
They're just rolling 4 lines.
They do.
I haven't looked at time of nights. They're just rolling 4 lines.
100%.
Yeah.
It's
Kaliev can shoot. That guy's got a heavy shot. He is a mutant.
Yeah. I think did he score twice against, I think he did score twice against Calgary Flames.
Probably.
That's where his 2 goals came from. Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty reunited, get to play against our guy Mikey Anderson, who hurt Leon Draisaitl.
I know. I wonder if Leon's going to do something silly tonight. Like just take a penalty and hack him in the ankle or something. We're not tough enough, so we can't do that shit, but
Sean Dursey with Matt Roy and Sean Walker and Alex Edler is the third pairing. That's also a very deep blue line. Like this is usually
Alex Edler.
I know.
Is he like Joe Thornton's age?
He's 37, I think. Yeah.
Good for
this
him.
is usually the part of the show where I like to point out, like, hey, this is who Woodcroft's going to try get McDavid on the ice against. This is who might see a lot of Draisaitl. But I look at this and like every pairing for the Kings is good. I think I overlooked them a little bit heading into this season because they're deepish. They're so deep.
Yeah, their lineup, their roster construction does look sound, and they're really good on the blue line. Like Edler's 37. Like, he's still got the wits, but he might not have the speed. So McDavid can, like, he might not be able to outsmart Edler, but he can outpace Edler for sure. So I'm not too worried about the third pair. But yeah, those first two pairs for LA is going to be a headache, which, I wish people would look at the Oilers roster and say the same thing, but I bet you they just looked at a green light at all three pairings, and that's an issue we need to solve. And I will not stop talking about it, just so you know.
Frank Saravalli has a piece up on dailyfaceoff.com about D targets for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and tomorrow I'm going to ask him how many of those targets, maybe if there was a Venn diagram, Leafs potential options, Oilers potential options, who sits in the middle there? I think there could be some interesting names. Columbus is in the shits. I've talked about Vlad Gavrikov a few times on the show. I think he's a guy who the Oilers might have interest in as a player. I know he's a pending UFA, but he's young. He's 26. He's got decent NHL experience. I don't know. We'll get Frank's take on that tomorrow. Today, though, we're focusing on the Oilers and the Kings. Special teams. The Kings are 18th in the NHL in power play percentage. The Oilers are 3rd in the NHL in power play percentage. If we're talking a penalty kill, the Oilers are terrible. Even though they've had a couple of decent games, they suck. They're 30th in the NHL, 70.6 on the PK. The good news tonight, the LA Kings are 26th. They're equally as weak as the Oilers. So, special teams advantage in favor of the Oilers. Winning advantage clearly in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Interesting.
Very interesting. So, hopefully, and we love taking penalties, so hopefully LA wants to oblige us and get into the special teams race where we have for once have a chance to win. We can always outscore, but we can't defend. Goaltending is always interesting when we have the upper hand because that very rarely happens. Mm-hmm. But who's in front of the goalie is, what also comes down to.
Yeah, and I'm trying to bite my tongue a little bit because the last time I sat on the show and was like, I'm very confident in the Oilers tonight. They're going up against a bad goalie. There are some advantages here.
Well, that was Carolina.
I know.
And that goalie was actually pretty good.
And the Oilers got smoked.
It's also the Carolina Hurricanes, and it was a back-to-back. A lot of variables at stake there. It's a freshly, hopefully, rookie party team, rested, feeling really good, excited to get back and playing. These are all meaningful games. That gets them up for it. So, hopefully we can not overachieve. Hopefully our offense does what our offense can do. Our defense can just bend and break a bit, but not break as much as it normally does. And then we got our best goalie in net. So there we go. There's the keys to the game.
Those are Jay's Sherwood Ford Giant keys to victory.
It's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be like a 6-5. I'm taking the over. I am taking the Oilers to win. I know I'm skipping ahead, but that's where it's going tonight.
What's your keys to victory, Liam?
Special teams. I think if the Oilers can just be better on the penalty kill than LA, the power play is going to overrule LA, I think, and then that'll be the difference. I think Skinner will play a big factor in the game, too.
Skinner's going to have a big game tonight.
I feel like he has a big game every time he plays.
He's going to have a big game and still let in 3-4 goals. And we're going to be like, hell, that was a hell of a performance. That's what it's like right now.
I'm going to agree actually almost 100% with you, Liam. I think special teams is going to be big tonight. I just talked about how I don't love the depth on this team. I get they were on the ice for a goal, that fourth line against Florida, but I think you're going to need the big guns to carry you. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very reminiscent of how the Oilers beat the Kings in the playoffs, which was let the big guns do their thing and let your goalie just hold on for dear life. And Stuart Skinner, maybe he gives up 3. Maybe he pitches a shutout like someone's predicting in the YouTube chat right now. But regardless, I think special teams and the big guns are definitely the keys to victory tonight for the Oilers because LA is the deeper team. And, yeah.
I think it's also important to consider the guys missing for the Oilers tonight too. We don't have Yamo, we don't have Kane. It's going to be.
Well, is Yamo a loss at the moment? At the moment, I still believe in the player, but at the moment,
fair. Yeah, at the moment, I suppose not. But
Janmark's probably more serviceable at the moment.
But he still has the ability to be a top 6 forward. I guess is kind of what we're missing. I don't know if the bottom 6 can really jump into a big role for us, if that makes sense.
Maybe Klim Kostin has a night. Maybe
I think I'm. You know what? I am on the Klim train. I'm also on the Janmark train.
Yeah, you're liking these new guys. You got, but it's
they made a visual impact. I don't know any of their underlying numbers, but I watched that game and I noticed every time they were on the ice.
But are you noticing them because they're doing a lot of really good stuff, or are you noticing them because they're the shiny new thing in the lineup?
What's shiny about, like,
your eyes are just drawn to them more because you haven't seen them?
I don't put them on an ISO cam. I'm like, oh, this guy's doing, that's Janmark doing that.
Okay, I'm just not as optimistic, and I hope I'm wrong. But I'm not super optimistic in the depth. You mentioned you don't.
I'm just, once again, I drink the Kool-Aid, and you're right, they are the new shiny thing, but my sample size is one game, and it was a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't that translate into 2 good games?
The numbers back up what you saw a little.
Right now, I do have math on my side, albeit small sample size. Love using the sample size disclaimer. But
Klim Kostin had the best 5-on-5 shots for percentage of any Oiler against the Florida Panthers.
If you put $10 on him to score a goal, you win 50.
I am definitely betting on him to score.
Okay, natural transition point to our Betway wrap-up here. You like Klim? Klim to score?
Klim to
Wow,
win?
may as well.
The real Klim Shady?
The real Klim Shady gets one tonight.
We have a T-shirt design coming. Klim score, baby.
If Klim ends up being the answer, I think we'll have some pretty good.
Klim could be the answer.
Yeah.
Klim was in the dark clouds of St. Louis, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And, he just had to get out.
Just like Ryan O'Reilly.
Just got to liberate Ryan O'Reilly, who's going to be a soon-to-be Oiler. I don't know if you watched Owen Every Day last week. Tyler Yaremchuk hinted that the Oilers will be signing or trading for Ryan O'Reilly.
And then the Blues went off and rattled 3 straight wins and got themselves back in the playoff race.
Exactly to my point, what I said. You wrote off the St. Louis Blues way too early because Ryan O'Reilly is on their roster.
Yeah, I probably did write them off just a hair.
You were picking them apart. We did this in 2019 again.
Yeah,
it's the same. Like if they win the cup this year, it'll be so fun.
Well, we'll come back to this moment. But
Betway. Yeah, what do you like tonight, Liam?
Connor McDavid, minus 106 to score
that's
a goal.
Disgusting.
The disrespect.
Well, it's actually the ultimate respect, but to a gambler who loves to chase the juice, very disrespectful.
And then Oilers to win in regulation, even money. I think they'll come back tonight and they'll do well. LA hasn't been awesome either. Stuart Skinner's kind of rolling. We're doubting him a little bit because of the depth. I think they'll win. So
I think they'll win too.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna like whatever. We can pick apart the roster and but if the Oilers just play a good game, they can beat any team. We have proven that. So I think they're gonna show up tonight. I really do. So if they show up tonight, that just means the Oilers are gonna win. I do like chasing the juice in the regulation. I'm probably go one step further. I'm going puck line.
I thought about puck line, but does that also mean power play goal empty net plus 250?
Well, it may as well.
If you're doing money line,
got to hedge the puck line.
Exactly.
The double down greedy hedge.
A couple of safe plays I'm intrigued by tonight. Betway has Oilers over 31.5 shots on goal at minus 135. I think they could rip a lot of pucks towards the Kings here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oilers to win and McDavid to just score 1 point.
That changes it from minus 140 to minus 134.
Tempting. Tempting.
Like, it's not even. You're better to just de-risk yourself and just take that, and then take
Oilers to win, McDavid to score 2 points.
That's the one.
Okay.
Plus 140.
Yeah, plus
that
140.
mitigates. Then you don't have to go chase the puck line.
Luke from Minnesota. We have a viewer from Minnesota we were complaining about 8 o'clock starts. Luke's like, how about 9 o'clock for me in Mini Central Time Zone? That sucks, Luke. But he says it is a big power play goal, empty net goal kind of night. Liam?
I'm in. I'm always in. I mean,
I think
old reliable.
Old reliable. Like Connor McDavid to score. That bet's going to hit.
I like my best bets here after reviewing this. Oilers to win and McDavid to score 2+ points. I love it. I love Oilers and Reglium as well. Those are the two I'm going to take here this evening.
I wish they would have Oilers to win, Leon and Connor both to score 2+ points. Do they have that?
If you scroll far enough down, they got tons of stuff.
Because Leon love lighting up the Kings on one leg.
So Betway has a bunch of these pre-built bets. Right?
I love them and get lost in them.
All right, so the best odds tonight.
Yes.
125 to 1.
Let's go.
Kings to win.
Nope. Can't do it.
Over 6.5 goals, Draisaitl and Arvidsson to both score 2+.
Okay, so then what's the Oilers version of that, and what does it pay?
Oilers to win the over, Draisaitl and Arvidsson both to score 2+ goals, 90 to 1.
I don't believe in Arvidsson. I can see him getting 1. I can see him getting 2 points. What's like a plus 2,500?
You want something that's like plus,
like something that's realistic here, Tyler. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not dealing in reality right now.
Yeah, like something that we know is gonna hit.
That one's not good. I'm scrubbing this while we're going live here, trying to find one that involves the Oilers to win as well, which is tough. Hey, Liam, how about this one? Instead of power play goal, empty net goal, shorthanded goal. Well, 14 to 1.
It's the Edmonton Oilers.
12 to 1 on penalty shot at any time in the game. You don't like Arvidsson, so that one won't work.
No,
for
well, if it's a point,
Draisaitl to score twice, over 6.5. Oilers to win plus 1,100, so 11 to 1.
Or
That's pretty good.
Oilers to win, over 6.5, and Draisaitl to score 3. You'd win 340.
And so I was actually looking because I was feeling a Connor McDavid hat trick tonight, but it could be a Leon Draisaitl hat trick night. I feel like there's a hat trick coming tonight.
Interesting.
Anyone feel me on that? YouTube chat? Anyone get
7 to 1 power play goal, shorthanded goal in the same match.
Once again, like that skews well for the Oilers because like it's not like we scored. What do we lead the league in shorthanded goals?
I
We've got to be close.
We'd be right up there.
We probably lead the league in high danger scoring chances on the penalty kill.
Yeah,
I love this one. We were talking about Luke from Minnesota. Tough 9 o'clock start. Pateri from Finland is watching.
Pateri? Kitos.
5 a.m. start. 5 a.m. is a little bit tougher than 8 a.m., I think.
I was up at 5 a.m. today. Would I want to wake up at 5 a.m. to get jazzed up for an Oiler game?
The Oilers are tied for 4th in shorthanded goals. Scored this year at 3. They've scored 3.
Fogels didn't count. It was just after, right?
After.
Okay. That was 4.
3 teams have 4 goals. So if they score one tonight, they'll be tied for first in shorthanded goals scored. I don't think this year the Oilers haven't allowed a shorthanded goal against, have they?
Never say that.
That's like an honest question. I'm not going to jinx them. It's not like they have a lot of shorthanded goal against. Never mind.
That's what I thought.
My bad.
Always count on the Oilers giving up a shorthanded.
wasn't Kadri?
No, that was 4-on-4.
I think it was a Flames shorthanded goal though.
Oh yeah, it was. It was Backlund in Calgary.
Right. Yeah, because then they went right down the other end and
was
tried to do
Coleman.
it again. No, it was Backlund.
Was it Backlund?
Yeah, because then we scored like 15 seconds after Backlund got another breakaway.
Yeah, we were only at that game.
Yeah, we were. Me and you were. But well, that's life. Yesterday our NHL bets did okay. That over in San Jose, Vegas. Yeah, but I like how our logic, or when we were going through it, we were like, oh, Vegas might hit this by themselves, and it only hit because Vegas absolutely imploded in the third period.
Yeah.
So that wasn't great. Or it still hit, so who cares? I went 2 for 3 on my shot props as well. Tonight, I like the McDavid shot prop as one of my recommended bets from Daily Faceoff. I like Rasmus Dahlin again. It's free money. He's hit it 9 games in a row, and they're still throwing it up at 2.5. So I'm taking that. And I like the Blues in regulation tonight.
Yeah, there's only.
Oh, now he's a big Blues guy.
Well,
to be fair, they're playing Chicago.
The guy, week to week, he's a different person with a different take. Big Blues fan.
If I'm going to be wrong about him, might as well make some money, is my thinking.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sports
betting has no allegiances. It's just about what's going to win. But I come from the dojo of bet with my heart and support my team. Yes, I bet on the Cleveland Browns this weekend against the Miami Dolphins. No, I did not win.
That's tough. I missed, speaking of betting on NFL, I give NFL picks every week on the show. I missed Jalen Waddle's prop by 1.5 yards and Kelsey's prop by 1 catch. Brutal.
Oh.
Brutal bad beats. It's terrible.
No, the worst beat was
that last second.
When he lost 13 yards on some they're doing that. They're throwing the laterals and he lost 13 yards on it. So
the worst.
He had the prop and then lost it. Anyways,
that is the worst. Rusty says, I still believe in this defense's ability to figure it out. They have shown flashes of greatness. I think Manson will be able to get the best out of them. Reckless optimism. Oilers get the dub tonight.
Well, here's my challenge. Maybe Manson is getting the best out of them.
That's mildly concerning if true.
How about Philip Broberg's goal last night?
Well, that's who he should be. That's what we drafted him to be. He's supposed to be the guy who can buzz around. Haven't not seen it at the NHL level, though.
Oh, he did. Well, I haven't seen it much at the AHL level, but he danced around the entire. I think they played Colorado. Danced through and just tucked you right in.
Yeah.
Better than Ryan Murray.
He probably is at this point. I don't know. We'll see. He needs to play like 10 games down there, I think, before I consider recalling Broberg.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because I think he's only played 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Because he got injured again.
Yeah. He's got to stay healthy for a decent
Band-Aid
stretch.
situation, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a nice trade piece.
Rusty says Oilers are going to dummy the Kings 7-1. Electronic Jordan says 4-2 win. Shout out to Bagged Milk. What are you guys going to say? I am trying not to be optimistic because they let me down every time I'm optimistic. But I really want to say 6-2 Oilers.
Ooh, I'm going 6-4. Empty netter.
Nice. I'm going to go 5-2 empty netter.
I like that.
So either way, we all agree over.
We all agree.
Always bet the over on the Oilers, unless they play Tampa Bay or Florida, because then that hits the under.
In St. Louis.
All right. As always, coming to you live from the Sports Closet studio. We're going to have some cool updates to the Sports Closet studio with maybe some of that reverse retro gear. Woo-wee! 3 locations in the Edmonton area: Kingsway Mall, Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Mall. Shout out to the Sports Closet. Also, if you're a footy fan like Liam or like me and you, because we're buying into the World Cup heavy here.
Buddy, all in, man.
All in.
Can't wait.
They also have some World Cup gear I saw at the shop. So if you want to load up on World Cup gear or there's reverse retro gear, it's going to be coming in the next week or so here. All of it at Sports Closet.
Well, speaking of the World Cup and connecting it now back to Betway, our betting partner, we should each make a bet on who we think is going to win the World Cup.
We'll do that next show because
Friday. We can do it.
Saturday. We'll do Saturday. Because that's right.
World Cup starts on Saturday.
Sunday.
Starts on
so that'd be perfect.
Okay, I'll do my research.
Okay, me too.
I've got some takes.
All right.
It's not going to be England, sorry.
That's okay. Mine will be.
If Norway somehow qualified now with Erling Haaland on the team, I would be big.
There's some juice. There's some juice there. Unfortunately, they can't.
I know. They're not the next World Cup. Futures bet.
All right.
All right, Sherwood Giant Game Day edition of the show. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with Frank Saravalli.